Women, however, are not going to get off easy. What I found in this current culture is that women do get off easy when it comes to their struggles dating. We talked about this last week with the idiot Tommy Lahren, who somehow has a Fox News. Well, a lot of idiot, stupid people are employed by Fox News, but Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham were talking about this last week, and we talked about that last week, and which is ridiculous and stupid, and they should be ashamed of themselves for that. It's a shameful thing. It's a sexist thing to say. But while much of the onus has been placed at the feet of men, what has not been said in vast majority of mainstream conversations around dating is that women, plot twist, are half the problem when it comes to romantic relationships between men, one half, women, one half. Women are one half. And I'm a little bit upset that women have not been held to the proper level of account for their part and contribution to the problem. And it's time that we address that, and we're going to address it. We're not going to run from that conversation. So women have contributed to the process of modern dating in far greater ways than most have been willing to admit. Not more than men, not less than men. It's an equal opportunity shitstorm. Let's just put it that way. In far greater ways than people have been scared to admit, women have contributed to this issue. They have contributed to this problem. This is not about hurting feelings. And for the guys that are going to dunk on women in the comments, hear this first. This is not about hurting women to make you feel better about yourself. That's called sadism, by the way. And you're a psychopath probably if you get off on people getting hurt. So you should get that checked out. You should go to a therapist. But this is about telling the truth. Okay? Telling the truth about what women have done to contribute to this problem. Telling the truth about ways that women have helped this problem expedite. This is about telling the truth. And we're going to tell the truth today. So women, like men, have been poisoned. Poisoned. I use that word deliberately. Poisoned with bad narratives. The biggest of which is feminism. Gasps from women, probably. Feminism is destructive. It is the worst thing, I believe, that has happened to women, at least in this space, ever. So you can have it all. You don't need a man. You can get all the things that you want all at the same time. Megyn Kelly, who I love, Tommy Lahren, who I don't love at all, to be honest, Laura Ingraham, all these women that are kind of, in a way, parroting this narrative. They are all incorrect. They are all wrong. And by the way, all the leftist feminists, they're very wrong about this because they probably don't even believe that women are women, but that's a whole other conversation. This is wrong. This is an incorrect ideology to have. This has poisoned women, for both women and for men. And because the well of femininity has been so poisoned, women have used this to treat men with hostility, with unfairness, with ingratitude, which has led a large portion of them to be unattracted to the women who have this mindset. They're unattractive. So again, the same thing with men. Women, if men do not find you attractive, if you're struggling to date, it is not a all men problem. It is not a men are trash problem. That's another narrative that I'm glad it's died, at least mostly. It is not a these men problem. It is a you problem, honey. It is a you problem. You got to fix that. Because if you don't fix it, you're going to have the same problem over and over again. And you're going to get bitter. And you're going to get resentful. So let me get into this. Women are now, because of technology, this is actually a really interesting binary. When I was writing this, or doing my prep for the show, I thought about this. I never thought about it in this way, but I think it's really interesting to kind of examine. Women are now kind of in a split. They're in kind of a duality here. Because of technology, women are more visually attractive than ever before, with filters, with advanced things they do to their face. Or I really don't know how where that works, but now apparently it's pretty good. And all of this stuff with like just different ways of doing makeup and different ways of presenting yourself and things like that. Different clothes they can buy, different ways they can go about their social media and stuff. They have never been more visually attractive than before. Like if you look at a picture of women in the 50s compared to women now, it's like, whoa. And I'm not saying that, and there were a lot of beautiful women back in the day, I'm sure. But in terms of like oh my gosh, like everything is perfect about every woman can be perfect. They just do this and that and whatever. It's never been like this ever. And so women now are more visually attractive for the most part than ever before. But also, because of this value system that they've adopted, this outgrowth of feminism in terms of the way that women perceive themselves, even quote-unquote conservative women like Tomi Lahren and Megyn Kelly and Laura Ingraham, they have never been, women meaning, more emotionally and spiritually ugly to men. So it's like when you break through the glass, when you break glass in case of emergency, and you see, wow, that woman's hot. And you go up to her and you look at, and you get underneath the surface just a little bit, you poke just a little bit, and you're like, whoa, I want nothing to do with you at all. I cannot tell you how many men have talked to me. It's like, hey man, I went on a date with that girl last week, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's pretty and she seemed nice, whatever. He's like, dude, never again. never again am I going to put myself in that position. I said, why? And he's like, dude, I started talking to her for more than 5 minutes, and it was like a car wreck. I couldn't look away, but I wanted to get out of the car as soon as possible. And so this mindset, this value system, this kind of place that women have put themselves in has led men to reject them en masse. So the biggest reason, I believe, that this is happening is that women in the modern era have lied about what they truly want, which is a masculine man. They've lied about that. I can get everything myself. I don't need a man. I don't need someone to complete me. I love myself. It's a lie, I think. I think it's a lie. I think a lot of women lie about that. And I can understand why they lie.